Welcome to Global Outlook. I'm Mary Sitt. Today we're coming to you from our new podcast studio. You can still catch us on HCC TV, but you can also go to our website, hccs.edu/podcasts, and listen to it immediately or download and play on the go. You'll also find a link to our video version on YouTube. Okay, our first guest today is Leila Allen. She is an international student advisor and official designated school official. Is that right?
Correct.
And originally you're from the country of Iran, and now you're here in Houston making your home, working with HCC with international students. Tell us, what are some of the most pressing issues that international students face when they come here?
One of the biggest issues they have, their language barrier, and then just entering the new culture, facing with new things, different from their original country and background that they have.
So when they have a language barrier, I know that HCC has a wonderful ESL program. Tell me about that.
Yes, any international student coming to study at HCC, regardless they are in the higher level, when they coming to HCC, we test them on English, and based on the score they make, we place them in one of the levels in English language, or if they pass, make a good grade, we are going to test them for academic level.
So unlike other schools that make students reach a certain proficiency level before they even get admitted, HCC will allow students to come, take the English courses, achieve a certain proficiency, and then start their courses. Is
Correct.
that right?
Yes.
So that makes HCC very accessible to international students.
Absolutely, yes.
Where do most of the students come from? What countries?
We have students from all over the countries. Majority come from China, Vietnam, Nigeria, Russia, Middle East, and South American.
So everywhere.
Everywhere.
And you help them do things like navigate everything from visas, right, to transfers. Tell me about the visa issues now.
We start from the application. We help them to how to submit the document to HCC. Everything happen online. So we check them. We get the acceptance letter for them, I-20s. We mail them to them, and they go for visa interview, for F1 visa interview. And if they grant it, they come here to start
their studies.
Yes.
Is it difficult to get that I-20 visa?
I-20, if they are have an old qualification, it's easy for them to process, but getting F1 visa to come here, yes, it's difficult.
And that takes some time.
It takes some time, but doesn't matter what if they get the visa or not. We help them to defer their I-20 and go for the next interview until they get the visa and can come here.
So there's something called the I-20 and something called the F1. Tell me what each one is now.
I-20, F1 is for international student, like B1, B2,
Okay.
it's tourist visas.
And they need that to get into the country to study.
Exactly,
Okay.
yes.
And how long does it take typically to get something like that?
From the beginning, we let a student apply for 1 semester or 2 semesters ahead. So we give them plenty of time to apply, and then we process the I-20, we communicate with them, we guide them to submit all the documents. Then we send it like maybe one semester, 5-6 months ahead of time. So they have time to go for interview and hopefully get their visa to come here for study.
Now, HCC is a very attractive school for international students. Can you tell us why? What are some of the factors that make HCC such a great place for international students?
Yes, because first of all, we welcome them. We are very friendly. Our staff is coming from
That
different
Texas
countries.
charm, right?
Exactly, yes. And here is a multicultural city.
It's
so
very diverse.
Exactly. And place that I am working, everybody's from different countries. So I guess they feel like home.
Right.
If they enter, we have people from Vietnam, Middle East, Europe. So they feel like they are home. They can go to someone and talk to them.
And if they can't cook, they can find a restaurant that serves food from their country, right? I mean, we have everything here in Houston.
Exactly, yes.
And HCC is also very affordable, right?
Exactly, yes. In compared to other colleges, we offer classes that they have the same quality. They can transfer it anywhere in the United States, and they are like 1/3 of the price they pay at another colleges.
So it's a good bargain
it's a
for
big
them.
help, yes. For them.
Now, as a designated school official, what are some of your responsibilities when you're called a school official? That comes with certain things, a role you have to play, right?
Yes, because we work partially for kind of immigration. We have access to their system to process the I-20s. So it's just we go through a lot of security and this is stuff, just to be access to the immigration website too. And what we do, majority, just helping any person that wanted to come here to go to school. We help them to get the visa, I-20, and then get the visa and come here. We
So you have to stay up to date on immigration law, right?
Right, exactly. We follow them, and they actually tell us what to do, mostly. Besides the academic part that we have to be just, we know all the rules and regulations from the HCC too. But first we process the I-20s, and we welcome all the students with any background or any kind of visa. If they are qualified, we help them to go to school, and hopefully they shape their future.
So it seems like the school official helps the student before they get here, and then as an international student advisor, you help them once they arrive on campus.
Exactly.
And then what do you help them do? Do you help them find housing or
Actually, we had
courses?
a meeting regarding that. We have a places we are working on that to help them for housing, for the work they cannot work because they're just coming here to study.
So they can't work.
Yes,
Right.
but we did a little help them to get the part-time job at the college. They can work if they make a good academic progress. We help them to work part-time at the college, but they cannot work outside.
Okay, but on campus they can have a part-time
Yes,
job. When they come to you for advice and help, I mean, first of all, do they come to you, or are they so shy that they're afraid to go to a school official?
No, just because we let them to email us, call us, come in person.
They feel like they know you when they get
Yes,
here?
and I guess because we are foreigner, I am foreigner, or other staff are foreigner, it's very easy for them to communicate, and we never had a problem. At the beginning, some culture, yes, they are more shy than other, but very, soon they warm up.
They warm up.
Yes.
And what do they talk to you about in terms of their issues and their problems they're trying to solve at school?
Yeah, they know that we can help them with everything, from the immigration, school, going to the college, sometimes personal problem. They wanted to talk because they feel like we are their family, so we are like, they are second family here for them.
If you had to give some tips to international students of how to be successful at HCC and in Houston, what would you tell them?
I am going to tell them what I did as a foreigner here.
Because you were a student too, an international student, right?
No, I wasn't, but I came here as a young age, and I went to school here and got a couple of degrees. So I will tell them to be focused, not to give up, because, English barrier, or they are not able to work. Somehow make it happen, and good time will come.
Okay, so don't give up.
Don't
Stay
give up.
focused. And how did you overcome those feelings of homesickness? Because I'm sure you felt homesick coming over here.
Of course, yeah. And I know that I have to deal with it because the background that I am coming, there is very difficult to go back. There is, my country is so different, like from the helping or something.
Right.
So it was, I just focused, and I was telling myself that this day is gonna be over, good day is gonna come. So just keep going. I didn't want to give up. That's the things I was telling myself. Give up or keep going. So I picked the keep
And then
going.
once you got through that hard time, I'm sure you were really happy, like, I made it, I feel good here, I feel like I belong.
Yes, this
right?
is, and since here is a different culture, they live here, people from different culture, it was really much easier for me. Like, you can go anywhere, you see so many foreigners, then you feel, everybody's like me here, just.
They were in the same boat, right?
Exactly, yes, it's very helpful to be among people that they are from different country, doesn't matter where they are coming from. You have so many things in common, like you are alone, you have a hard time, you become survivor, and you keep pushing each other, just keep going.
So buddy
and
up with
help each
another
other.
student, another international
Exactly.
student, and go
Yes.
through it together, right?
Correct.
Leila Allen, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Coming up next, we'll meet a student who has a passion helping other international students. She's from Haiti. Stay with us.
This is Ronak. She's a mom with a physics degree, so she understands the power of momentum. And she knows that by learning English at Houston Community College, she'll be unstoppable. HCC, for everyone, anytime. That's Saskia. She loves cars. Seriously, she whistles at them. So she's studying engineering at Houston Community College. After that, a 4-year degree. Then it's off to the races. HCC, for everyone, anytime.
Our next guest is a first-generation American. Christine Mompoint is a student here at HCC, and she has a passion to help international students. Christine, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, so you were born here.
Yes, ma'am.
But everybody else in your family is from Haiti.
From Haiti, the Bahamas, really in the Caribbean.
All those beautiful islands where you could go on vacation someday, right? And stay for free somewhere with somebody. So why did you choose HCC to continue your studies? I know you were going to another community college before here.
I chose HCC, as the commercial describes, to restart my GPA. I needed to kind of reset myself after some personal issues, and HCC had a lot of programs that other colleges weren't offering.
And what programs were you looking at the time?
When I first came here, I was looking at the music business program.
Business program. Oh, that sounds fun.
Trying to find some different ways I can incorporate my passions into what I wanted to do with my life. And then,
are you a musician?
I actually sing. So I've been classically singing for 6 years. So
that's great. Okay, so you thought music business, but then you switched. What happened?
So when I got more involved on campus, I got involved at the Northwest Student Government Association. We have some really unique student opportunities to travel, to be a part of conventions and things within the state. So I went to a Texas Junior College Student Government Association meeting. I was elected the chair of the Constitution and Bylaws Committee.
Wow,
so I gave
that sounds like important.
So I gave a pretty big presentation in front of all the community colleges in the state, and it really shifted my passions to political science. So that was a really, really awesome opportunity for me. So I've actually changed my major to political science since
So giving a speech in front of all the people, that was not scary for you?
Oh, no, not at all.
You just walked up and, because your singing career, right? I mean, you were used to singing in front of an audience?
Yeah,
right?
so I used to be in front of people, and especially when I'm passionate about something, I can just get up and let people know. So it was a really great experience.
So Christine, what is it about student government you're so passionate about? Because a lot of people look at it and go, oh, student politics, you have to sit through boring committee meetings. You can't just go boom, 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 do things. You have to go through a committee. You have to vote. You have to go through all these processes. But that didn't scare you. What do you like about it, and what keeps you going with that?
I think the unique thing about student government at HCC is that we have 7 student government organizations amongst the district. So that gives 45 students the opportunity to be a leader, to learn, to grow, to experience things, and get to know people on campus. I think that a lot of the faculty and staff members at HCC are very passionate about helping students outside the classroom. And I know that every administrator that I've got in contact with has agreed to meet me personally on their own time and kind of help me through some of my challenges getting to school, getting from school, and all these type of things. And so I've been able to develop as a person, being a student government a leader, and to help other students realize that they have the same opportunities as well.
So it sounds like the more you get involved with HCC activities, the better of a student you become, because you get to know more professors, more leaders on that staff, and become a leader yourself, right?
Yes, definitely.
And now you want to translate that passion of student government into helping other students, especially international students. Tell me about that.
Yes, the international students, some of my closest friends are international students. Several members of my executive board last year were international students. And when they would tell me about their challenges of coming to a whole new country, coming into a brand new space where they didn't know anybody sometimes, they didn't have any family, didn't have any friends, also navigating a system that's outside of their language, outside of their comfort zone, it really touched my heart, because I know, I live by Bush Airport and I travel out to A-Leaf. So that to me is a long distance thing. Right. But these people are coming from really, really far, and they need the support. And so being able to show them that there are people on campus who genuinely care about them, not just about students coming to class, or not just about working their job, but actually care about them is so important.
It's more than just the GPA, right?
It's more than
all
just
about
the GPA.
Living here and navigating all that. So what are some specific things that you do to help students, international students?
So at Northwest, we have an international student committee. And so that committee is tasked with just making international students feel welcome, making them feel comfortable. We are going to host several events. We have International Education Week coming up in November before Thanksgiving. And so the point of that organization is to open the door for them to see that there are opportunities outside of the classroom. In that committee already, we already have 25 students. And then we have the international student ambassadors from Mr. Neethy's office as well, already integrated into that. And so we're hoping to bring more students in and help them feel welcome and answer their questions about how to navigate the college system.
Do you feel like the international students, when you ask them, hey, get involved, do they sit there and go, I am so busy just trying to study and do my little part-time job to earn money to get here? Are they just so overwhelmed with activities of living, just making it here? Or do you find that they're interested in getting involved outside their academic studies?
I had the privilege of attending the International Student Orientation, and in that orientation, there are about 300 students in there, and I kind of give them the same speech, like, we're here to help you, like, let us be your friends to kind of support you in this new journey. And most of the students I have in the committee right now are from that orientation. So I think when there is somebody who extends the hand, they're willing to take it, and so hopefully this will be a platform where more students can figure out that they have help when they need it.
Christine, you're involved in something about called the Unified Student Experience. What is that, and how are you doing that?
So the Office of Student Life is making sure that every campus has a unified student experience, planning the same type of events, having the same type of speakers, having the same type of educational and fun activities for all students involved. They work very diligently over the summer, had a meeting every other week to kind of create this 50-page packet that makes sure that everybody is doing things by the book.
50 pages?
Yeah.
Of rules or what?
It's more like how to navigate the system, how to check out the information that you need, how for clubs and organizations to get what they need. And so part of that is student government associations reaching out to the clubs on their campus and bringing them into the fold, saying, how can we support you? How can we promote your events? And so we're hoping that by doing that, we can publicize all of the student life events so students everywhere can feel engaged.
I can see you on Houston City Council next, and then State Senator next, and going up. Christine Mompoint, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Coming up next, we'll meet someone who is an expert on international business and how to do it around the world. Stay with us.
Meet Elizabeth. She's a mom on her way to get groceries. She's also on her way to getting an associate's degree at Houston Community College that could help provide for her family. HCC, for everyone, anytime.
I've seen people's lives change just by attending a class at HCC.
Some of them might not have the financial means to go to a four-year university. That doesn't make them any less quote-unquote smart than the kids who go to a four-year school.
HCC is easy to get to. It's easy to apply and easy to become a part of.
It gave me so much confidence.
Once you finish your 2 years there, you can transition into a four-year university or go into the workforce.
It's affordable, it's accessible, it changes lives.
We have academic programs that help students get from high school into a university. And the data is very clear that students that take the path of a community college finish in far higher numbers than students that start straight into a university experience. Our students can achieve a baccalaureate degree in multiple fields from the universities in the area without ever leaving Houston Community College.
Meet Ekaterina. She has lofty goals to learn English and accounting. So she's studying for 2 degrees at Houston Community College, which means she's going all the way to the top. HCC, for everyone, anytime.
Have you ever thought about doing business overseas? Well, we have an expert here who can tell you all about how to do it. Deanna Teel is a program instructor here at HCC. She teaches everything from international marketing management to global supply chains to imports and exports and how to do it right. Deanna, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Mary, for having me. I'm pleased to be here.
Now, you've been teaching international business courses for a while here at HCC, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me about the range of courses that you teach and that HCC offers.
The International Business Program has a range of courses from global marketing, global management, global supply chain management, global logistics management, principles of exports, principles of imports, and intercultural management. Those are the main courses.
Those are a lot of courses for a community college.
Yes, yes.
Right? Because it's a 2-year is it a 2-year program?
Yes, ma'am. It's a 2-year program. We do have a certificate. You can complete it in a year. The good news about our program, though, Mary, is that we have a credential.
Okay.
You know, the trend now in education is industry standards. Every employer is looking for that. It's not sufficient enough just to have an associate's degree, but if you have a credential, it really moves you up
And when you say a credential, you mean like a certification?
Yes.
Okay.
It's
You
a
have taken so many courses successfully, that kind of thing?
Well, what it is you do take the courses, and then there is NASBI International is an organization which has developed a credential exam like the CPA.
Wow. Okay.
But it's called the Certified Global Business Professional Credential, which
Okay.
is a mouthful,
Right.
CGBP.
Uh-huh.
And if you take the credential and you pass the exam, it really illustrates to employers that this person is competent in all these areas. See, the problem with international business is it's a very wide spectrum.
Right.
And so you could work in trade finance for 30 years and not know anything about global marketing. So it's siloed, and that's the problem. That's why they came up with this credential.
So you had to know a little bit about every aspect of it,
Yes.
not just deep into one. Is that right?
Right, that's correct. And
Okay.
so if you take the credential exam and you pass it, it illustrates to an employer that you're credentialed in trade finance, global supply chain management, international global marketing, and global business.
So you can't just fly by the seat of your pants. You can't just discover some little, I see these Facebook ads. It's like, oh, we discovered these beautiful straw purses hand woven in whatever the country it is, Indonesia. I think it
Right.
was from there. And now we are selling them. Right? I mean, can you just dive in on vacation? You see something you like, a product,
of course.
import, just buy a bunch of them, 50 of them, take them back to the
Yes.
States,
Yes.
and then sell them on the internet? I mean, is that international business? Or is
Yeah,
that,
you can do that.
Yeah?
I know of a lot of people that do things like that.
But can you really make a living off of that?
That would
To
be
sell,
questionable.
yeah, right.
Some people can. It really depends upon a lot of factors, but you can certainly do that. You would have to be sure you check all the restrictions because the export controls have gotten very strict over the years. Since 9/11,
Okay.
export controls have gotten very, very tight, and penalties are very high, costly. So you need to be very careful
Follow
about
the
what you
rules.
do. Yes, and it's called informed compliance.
Okay.
So it's on your shoulders to figure out what I can and cannot do legally.
And do you go over that in your courses?
Yes, we do.
That must change all the time.
It
though, right?
does. It changes every single day, especially now. We have so many sanctions against Russia and Iran and China. If you're going to be a big player, you absolutely have to be informed on what's going on. Now, if
How
you're
is
going
the
to just
trade war now? I'm sorry,
Oh, no, go ahead.
affecting the trade with the China.
That's a very good question. It is having an effect. I am personally a free trader. I believe in free trade. But I will just say that for 2 previous administrations, they have really let their guard down regarding intellectual property violations by China, for example.
You mean like stealing DVD
Yeah.
movies and sort of illegally copying
everything.
them?
Illegal.
Anything with intellectual property.
Intellectual property piracy is just so rampant in some countries. And all these people that develop these products have lost billions of dollars. And so the previous 2 administrations really just kind of looked the other way, but now the current administration is saying, well, we really need to draw a line in the sand.
But the tariffs go beyond intellectual privacy, right? I mean, they go through shoes and athletic shoes. And I just heard this NPR report the other day about this little person in China, a little company, a one-man shop basically, and he has hundreds of little shoe forms, and he said it's down. Orders are down 30% already because of the trade war. I mean,
Yes.
it's affecting both sides. Is that
Yes,
right?
it is. And in fact, it's interesting because I have a cousin who is a soybean farmer in Illinois.
Ah, okay.
And they just had an article out in the Wall Street Journal last week about the impact it's having on farmers in particular because, they really hit the soybeans.
Right.
And so my cousin is a soybean farmer, and according to the article as well, in Illinois, 18% soybeans sales are down 18%, and my cousin said it's really difficult because of the fact that even though they're getting some remuneration from the government, it's not been enough. But the interesting thing was over 43% support the president's approach that he's
And
taking.
why?
Because they feel, too, that there has been such a violation of intellectual property. Yeah, soybeans don't have intellectual
Right.
property, but all of this, you have to look at all this holistically. You can't just single out one little
Right.
industry and say, oh, this one's being impacted, because it is so rampant.
Right.
So
So what do you tell your students when they want to go into international business and they're all excited and eager and they have a product maybe in mind? What do you tell them to do? What do they need to do to be successful?
Well, first of all, I tell them they pick the right field because international business is so dynamic, Mary. It changes every day. I mean, that's what I find so fascinating about it. I get up in the morning and it's like, oh my gosh, something new happened. And it's very exciting. And so I try to, pass that on to my students. And so I give them as much information as I can in order to be successful. Certainly if they get this credential, it will really push them up to the top of the class, head of the class. But the other exciting parts are the flexibility. I would encourage them to travel, to live in other countries as I have, and really get the feeling, which we call a global mindset. And sometimes we have a provincial sort of mindset here in Texas, but there's so much, such a big world out there. It's so exciting.
And once you go to other countries and live there, you get to come up with new ideas and new ways of doing things too.
Oh,
right?
yes, exactly.
Where have you lived?
Well, I've lived in Italy and I've lived in Belgium.
Oh, great countries, yeah.
Yes, and then I went into the Peace Corps and I lived in Chad, Africa, and I got caught in a civil war there and had to be evacuated. And then from there, I went to Turkey and I worked there for 2 years.
And what did you do there?
I taught.
English?
I'm a teacher. Well, English and other things as well.
International. And
yes.
business too?
Yes.
So you've lived all over the world.
Well, I have not all over, but I've
a lot
lived
of
several
countries.
places. Yeah,
Yeah,
the
4
Middle
countries.
East,
Yeah,
the Middle
yeah.
East, Africa, and Europe. And once you get that bug in you, Mary, it's really hard to get rid of it.
How has living abroad in those years past affected the way you teach today in the classroom?
I have so many experiences to draw on. And yes, the textbooks are important and they're really a guidepost for our students, but I try to throw in things that I experienced from living abroad. And again, it's so exciting, in terms of every day it changes and there are exciting things. And so as you had mentioned about the woman, the Indonesian straw bags that you saw, I mean, our students can do that and many of them do. I had a student one time that started on this venture of selling used cars from the United States to Kazakhstan.
Oh my goodness,
And,
used cars?
Yes.
And how do you ship them over there?
Yes. You ship them over there on a boat. and he was very successful. And many of my other students have kind of picked up on that as well. So I have students that are very entrepreneurial as well.
I was just going to ask you, do you think people are born entrepreneurs or is that something you can learn?
I think you can learn it, but I think you have to have that that
fire
spark.
in your belly,
That spark,
yeah.
exactly, because it is not easy. There'll be days when you're down and you're just so despairing about what's going on, and then all of a sudden you'll get excited again. So I think everybody can do it if they really want to.
Deanna Teel, thank you so much for being with us and
Thank
sharing us
you.
all about international business.
Thank you, Mary. It's my pleasure.
That's all for this edition of Global Outlook. You can catch us every Friday and Sunday at 7:30 a.m. and p.m. plus Saturday at 10 a.m. And you can go to our website, hccs.edu/podcasts, and listen to it immediately or download and play to go. I'm Mary Sitt. Thanks for watching.